Okay. Welcome back. Now, we have this question to face. Let's say, in Ho, 2 scenes, do you think after 2 more full scenes with Mercury, we'll still be on a boat? And this is what we're betting on. So, let's include our poll results from last video. First off, very even split between, do you believe in spirits or do you not believe in spirits? Yes and no, not even a little bit. Although you could take that 19% in the middle and throw it into the yes column to break that tie. That's the, no, not even a little. No, but actually yes. That's the, like me, when you answer no to the first time she asks you, and then you change your vote the second time. Just, are you really sure? That one. Now this one pretty much fell along the lines I expected it to. Definitely it got way closer than I expected it to. So, the question is, how do we handle placing our bet based on your votes? Need a refresher on how many chips I have first, so... Probably. Really? You really think so? Boy, I hope not. Okay then, why don't we actually bet on that? Yeah, no, I don't know why I didn't think of this before now. This is a great topic to bet on. Can't believe I didn't think of that before now. So come on, how much are you going to bet? We have 12 chips. Math gets a little wonky during 3. It's one suggestion of averaging it out. So I do 53. So we do 47. You know what? We're gonna go a little bit riskier. We're gonna bet 5 chips. Okie dokie, now there's some stakes. Now I can really cheer for Mercury to stay on that boat. Which seems a bit counterintuitive, but whatever. Yeah, gambling makes this way more fun. Alright, let's keep going. This is Mercury. And easy. Mask party. Trump suit. Oh no. I regret my choices. Man. What a beautiful sunrise. Even blocked by the trees and all, I could appreciate a view like this. It's a view I didn't get to see all that often. A lot of the time my work kept me up late at night. I'd sleep right through these golden morning hours. For once that had been taken to its logical extreme. My work had gone on for so long that it went straight through the night and kept me up for long enough to see sunrise. This was gonna fuck up my sleep schedule. Was I kidding? My sleep schedule had been fucked up for a long time. These beams of sunlight did indicate that I really had to get a move on. My time was running up. If I delayed for much longer, things could go really bad. Worse than they already were. But you know, it's worth taking in these moments whenever I got the chance. When was the next time I'd get to see a sunrise like this? Judging by things that have been going, maybe never. So then why not enjoy it? The immaculate orange hues pushing away the purple clouds. The sky wasn't yet bright, yet the sun shone so brightly. This contradiction led to a beautiful clash between the previous night and the oncoming day. This was the sort of sight talented painters drew inspiration from. If I had a camera on me, I'd have taken a photograph despite it all. It was a nice view to rest to. Boy, did I need a rest. Leaning against a tree wasn't exactly comfortable, but right now it felt like the most exquisite bed. That was how badly I just needed something to rest against. My back was killing me. My arms were sore as hell. I don't know if I could even feel my legs. My hands were being calloused all to hell. Moving my fingers caused me to wince. This alone I could easily handle. What was really killer was the fact that I wasn't done yet. Just the thought of getting back to work made my bones give out a collective groan. Get it together, me. Thought I was in better shape than this? How was I getting this tired? Maybe I was being unfair to myself. I mean, I was still in shape. It had just been an exhausting night. I couldn't expect my body to be like an unerring machine. But I was too young to be getting back pain, for Christ's sake. That should be a curse exclusive to men in their, I don't know, 40s or something. Whatever. I'd see a physical therapist whenever I had some time off. Whatever the hell that would be. You know, what was really killing me was my parched throat. I wouldn't give some water. An idea crossed my mind. I leaned down and opened the silver case by my side. Maybe there was some water packed in here. Thinking back, I was pretty sure I already knew the answer. It never hurt to double check. Rifled through the contents. A silenced pistol. A spare change of gloves. Some thin black rope. A stun gun. Oh boy. Grenades of various types. Oh boy. Night vision goggles. Oh boy. A transceiver. A Swiss Army knife. The most sensible thing of all this. Some medicine. Never mind, that's the most sensible thing of all this. Black duct tape. 2 burner phones. A stolen regular phone, naturally. A whistle of some sort. And not a fucking bottle of water, just great. Wow. Future, should really make sure to bring in water to any excursions with the potential to last a while. I will admit the icon on this deck looked like some kind of masquerade mask glasses, not fucking army ranger shit. Whatever. Let's just get it over with. The more time I killed just standing around, the more risk I was accruing. It'd be best to just get it over with. Reached down to the floor and grabbed a black glass helmet. You know, that thing was really fucking annoying to wear. Well, that sounds familiar. Not comfortable in the slightest. No small wonder I took it off when I was giving myself a moment to relax. Guess then the question I'd posed myself was why I was even putting it back on if that was the case. I was about to do some more physical labor. Surely restricting my breathing like this would hurt, but not help, right? I mean, I wasn't a health nut, but that seemed like a no-brainer to me. Guess it was the principle of the thing. It's about playing a role. When you're in a role, it's best to inhabit that role in every aspect. In your thoughts, in your clothing, in your actions. You want to keep that character separate from your own person. Else you're going to start doing some pretty existential questioning in regards to your own selfness. There's a reason so many actors had complete mental breakdowns. So when I was doing a task like this, yeah, let's put the mask on, shall we? Walked over to the nearby shovel and begrudgingly picked it up. Come on. No more stalling. Time to just, get to work. Thunk. I pushed the shovel deep within the dirt. Muscles burned, making their resistance to this action noted. Sorry, muscles, you didn't get a say in this. Further down did I push the spade until it was beneath a sizable chunk of dirt. And now for the hard part. My muscles burned before they were on fire as I tried pulling the shovel up out of the ground, scooping the dirt around it all the same while. With such a quantity of dirt, I didn't exactly have the luxury to carefully move the shovel once in the air. I more so just flung the dirt I had lifted in the direction I wanted. This method worked, a hole filled with a bit more dirt. And again, the process repeated, and once more too. Kept shoveling and shoveling, filling in the hole, hiding the past. After a bit of this, I took a moment to catch my breath and assess the scheme. I was making good time. I could barely see the hole anymore. Just a bit more digging that needed to be done. There was one issue, though. You could still very clearly see an arm sticking out of the ground. That's a problem. God damn it. This was squarely my fault, I had to admit. I really should have set things up differently when I was placing the body in the hole in the very first place. If I had been thinking, I would have thrown the man in, arms first. Then what about the legs? Maybe it was best to dismember his limbs. Ah, yes, naturally. That definitely would have avoided this issue. It also would have gotten blood all over the place. I could have just thrown this bloody dirt in the hole. Overall, it likely would have been more efficient. But I don't know. Doing that post-mortem just seemed kind of messy and unnecessary. It was fine as is. I just have to put some dirt over the exposed arm. No problem. Honestly, if we're talking about this from a hiding the body perspective, how deep the hole was wouldn't really matter. If dogs were looking here, dogs would find it. Truly properly make a body disappear, you need a far more thorough method than what I was handling. Still, I felt pretty confident that nobody would find this body. This job was more than sufficient. For one, imagine finding this one spot in the middle of Panthea's forest area. It'd be like searching for a needle in a haystack. Really hard. You'd only search that hard if you were looking for a body. I was pretty sure nobody would be looking for this body. And people disappeared all the time in Panthea. And this guy? Yeah, if he disappears from the grid, it wouldn't really cause a stir. It'd be difficult for the police to even place where he was before he went missing. Yeah, I was covered on all sides. This gravesite I was digging would be the man's final resting place. So might as well make it a good one. Got back to work with a shovel. The breather didn't help. Shovel some dirt. Throw it on the hole. Repeat. Repeat. Ignore your aching body. This really was not much fun at all, but it had to be done. Soon enough, the arm was hidden. But just hiding the arm wasn't enough. Didn't want a deer to trip over it or something. So a bit more, and a bit more. Okay, that was probably buried now. It was pretty obvious what had happened here. Needed to cover my tracks a bit better. Using the shovel, I even out the dirt area around the hole some more. Yeah, I just had to stop for a moment to look up the name. We must be playing from the perspective of Thane now. We literally just saw in Mercury's first episode. Making it all level for the most part. Finally, I started spreading some leaves and twigs over the whole place. There. If you were just walking by. Yeah, that looked totally normal. If you're going for a hike, you could walk right over this corpse and never know it. And that was that. For all intents and purposes, the man beneath my feet was no longer my problem. Thought about the guy for a moment. He didn't exactly go out in a peaceful way. Strangling. Yeah, that's gotta be rough. You're alive for long enough to know exactly what was happening. To feel the pain, the fear that you'd soon be dead. And eventually you'd run out of breath and slump to the ground. Oof. Poor guy didn't see it coming. He was just going about his business, standing by one of those trees before I came up behind him. Well, I didn't feel guilty about it. I was just doing what I had to do. Him or me? he didn't like this outcome, he shouldn't have gotten in this game. Still, seeing as nobody would ever see him again, it felt wrong to just completely abandon the spot without a second thought. Awkwardly, I got on one knee and put my hands together. Then, gave a prayer, I guess? The whole thing felt weird. I certainly wasn't religious. I didn't believe in any gods, any sort of afterlife. I doubted this guy's soul would see salvation. So why, for this one person I barely knew, that I owed nothing, did I take the time to pray for them? It's hard to say. Just a random compulsion, I guess. Yeah, just a whim, I guess. That's the most I could make of my own actions. Wish you the best, man. Rest in peace. Okay, that's enough of that. Got back on both feet. Time to make my way back home. First things first, to get out of the damn forest. This much I can handle on my own. Hopefully. Just to be sure I took out one of the burner phones and opened up a GPS app. Right, okay, I was correct. The way back to the urban part of the city was definitely 100% the direction I thought it was. Didn't hurt to check, though. If I spent an hour walking just to come out by the seaside, I'd be proper pissed. So began the walk. You know, something like this merely made me regret ever thinking I liked walks like these. There's a time and a place for them. That time and that place definitely wasn't when you were already incredibly sore from a lot of work. I just have to pull through and endure. The map showed I wasn't that far from the urban area. One thing I hoped to avoid was any hikers. It had become early morning, but should still be too early to run into anybody with some sense in them. The problem is, hikers weren't exactly known for their sense. They were the exact freaks who enjoyed waking up at this ungodly hour. They very well could try going for an off-the-path hike and run into me. But if that happened, whatever. You couldn't fret about hypotheticals. Hypotheticals. I was gonna say, you can't say hypotheticals without pathetic. You just had to assume bad luck wouldn't strike, and deal with things appropriately when it did. Before too long, however, I finished my trek uninterrupted. The dirt turned to pavement. I was at the city borders. Fantastic. Take the cab back to my... Fuck. I probably couldn't do that, could I? It would probably be fine. Plenty of people went for early morning hikes, like I just said. Police wouldn't even know to look for anything. Wasn't this like the thing that got people caught for murders that were tricky to prove, like this one? My mind was flash-forwarding to the trial. So, Mr. Cab Driver, did the person before you definitely show up to ask for your services this morning? Fuck. Fine. Side muscles, you lose to my long-term safety. I knew the way back to my place from here. It wasn't that long for a walk. I just have to suck it up and live with it. Through gritted teeth, I continued my journey on foot. Passed by closed stores, faceless towers, crosswalks, parking lots, supermarkets. Like I said, it was still that golden hour. Too early for most sane people. You were actually more likely to see people out and about at 1 a.m. than you were to see them now. It was really nice, if a touch creepy, to see these familiar streets without their usual hustle and bustle. Change of pace. My murderous morning had given me a lot of nice sights. My eyes caught a row of posters pasted on a nearby brick wall. All were campaign posters for Governor Aisha. Election's really coming up around the corner, huh? I felt bad for her competition. Bach had good spirit, but just... There were a lot of factors standing in his way. None so more of a giant iron wall than the simple difference between his lack of funding and Aisha's advertising budget the size of a small company. Aisha already had the advantage of being a household name. She had a decent resume to boot. If you wanted to take down a Goliath like that, either a huge scandal needed to break out regarding her, or you needed to launch a strong offensive. It's hard to launch a strong offensive if you could barely be heard. Doubly so if you were being actively drowned out by Aisha's campaign. And no doubt she was using the full extent of her connections to squash Bach's efforts. Though that last bit was probably unnecessary given the state of the election. Bach had had a greater presence earlier in the primaries. Plenty of people were eager to take a shot at Aisha, politically speaking. But Bach rose above them, seeming to be the best contender. And now, when it was time to shine, he was going to be buried. All according to plan. The whole thing was just bleh. Speaking on the note of the elections, I also saw one of the new digital voting booths being installed. The new hot craze for Panthea. I didn't see the appeal, frankly. Sure, it helps sort out election results faster. Does that really matter, though? I guess it must. I walked by a young couple. However, when I looked at them, they recoiled. That's pretty rude, isn't it? Are you still wearing your helmet? Where'd they get off acting like... I was still wearing the mask and the getup, wasn't I? Well... God, how had I not noticed that earlier? Tonight's proceedings must have just really taken things out of me. Well, thank God I didn't look for a taxi or anything. Might have been a touch stronger evidence against me. A part of me wanted to abandon things now. Walking around like this at this time of day seemed ill-advised. But what the hell was I to do? I need to take the outfit with me. I don't think it could fit in the suitcase. And holding the mask and the jacket and everything under my arm didn't seem like a notable improvement. Guess I just have to deal with it until I got to the location. Second thought, it really wasn't that bad a setup. As I passed another old man, he instantly turned around and started walking the other way. Ha. Yes, striking just a little bit of fear into the random civilian was a fun enough novelty. It was a passing novelty, however. Before long, I got to my place. Or rather, close enough. What I really found was an abandoned street close enough to my place. One that let me slip down without any witnesses. I approached the manhole with a final burst of strength and lifted it up. There we go. Then, quite delicately, I began to move down the ladder. Once below the manhole, I slid it back into its proper place. Then I continued my way down the ladder. Finally, I was in the underground sewer. Homestretch. It was weird that the stench of the flowing sewer water was a good smell. I associated it with returning to the safety of my home. In my way further down the cement walkway, lit with the dim bulbs hung too far apart from each other. And soon enough, I found a small stairway up. Walked to it and faced down a door. Fished in my pocket, pulled out a key. I unlocked it and opened it. Then I walked into a small closet-like area. I closed the door behind me and relocked it. Lightweight security, to be sure, but I appreciated it. I stepped out of the storage closet into the stairwell. I made my way up 2 flights of stairs until I got to my floor. Oh, okay. 2 floors down was my apartment. This was, to put it lightly, a unique way to get home. Unique enough to have an apartment building that's connected to sewers through a storage closet? That is certainly unique, but it works. What can I say, though? I valued thoroughness. Panthea had multiple hotels. This one, however, had a nice little perk. One of its supply closets had a direct connection to Panthea's sewer system. Don't ask me why that was the case. I think it was a remnant of whatever this building used to be before becoming a hotel. Regardless, I was thankful for it. That's why I chose my apartment to be in this building. I had scoped out this feature before choosing to live here, you see. Why else would I spend my time in an ill-maintained, cramped, low-quality place like this? Certainly not because of the stellar service. With this, whenever I wanted to go out, I'd just sneak out through the storage building. Pop up somewhere through a manhole. Similarly, whenever I was making a return trip, I could do the opposite approach. The main benefit of this was making it incredibly difficult to find where I actually spent my nights sleeping. Even if you were actively running surveillance on me, or this hotel, or whatever, it'd be difficult to tell. There were any number of Sorry for a bit of a delay there, but there are any number of reasons why somebody would want to hide where they lived in Panthea. I had several. Walking into my apartment, it felt like I could literally hear the heavens singing. Oh, I was entering my own pearly gates. Oh. My small, dirty, one-room pearly gates. I wasn't a picky person. I didn't need a lot of living space to be happy. I definitely didn't need a lot of living space to be happy right now. Because right now I just needed to be living. God. I had had some rough nights, but that one night took the cake. I tossed the silver case on the floor and collapsed onto the nearby couch. I felt like going into a coma. First things first, I was going to take off this stupid costume. Goodbye helmet, goodbye gloves, goodbye jacket, goodbye boots, goodbye pants. I stripped down completely and just lied down. If I wasn't careful, I might fall asleep here and now. No, actually, I don't think I could. I felt dirty. Fair enough, I was incredibly dirty. It's called for a shower. Walked over to the restroom and turned the knob. Annoyingly, this place took a minute before hot water started to flow. Today, it took 2. Finally, when my hand told me it was ready, I stepped in. Now this was heaven. I took my time washing my hair, scrubbing my face, letting the warm water envelop my body. Literally nothing felt better than a hot shower when you were extremely exhausted. Well, a hot bath might be better, but that would take too long and I didn't have a bathtub. But shower? Close second. If I had it my way, I'd just stay in that shower for hours, but practicality sank in at some point. After I was thoroughly done, I stepped out and began to towel on. Walked over to my wardrobe and picked out a very casual outfit. Then I fell down onto my bed. I just wanted sleep. This was obvious. I had thought it several times at this point. But no. I couldn't fall asleep now. For one, as I said, it did just completely throw my sleep schedule out the fucking window. This was too critical a time to have that sleep schedule off balance. And I also had too much to do. Especially in light of recent events. Much to do, huh? What even was there to do? Reluctantly, I rose back to my feet. Then I walked across my apartment to my desk. I took out my laptop. At the very least, I knew one site I should check. That was where my mind was at when I heard it. A faint buzzing. Buzzing? Where the hell was that coming from? So faint, at first I thought it was like an insect or something. But no, it was in my room. It wasn't faint, it was muffled. I continued to wonder what it could be until I felt the floor vibrate a little bit. What? The floor? Looked around the mess of stuff I had left lying on the floor. Oh, a stolen phone. One thing grabbed my attention as probably the main culprit. Sure enough, the next buzz, I noticed the silver case visibly move around on the floor. Shit. Immediately, I ran over and opened it. The hell was doing that? Looking at the case, I saw it immediately. The transceiver. Looked like Thane was getting a call. Oh no. I didn't want to answer. That confirms that we are Thane. I really didn't want to answer. Not now, not like this. I didn't exactly have a choice, did I? I didn't want to think about what would happen if I didn't answer the transceiver. With slight hesitation, I accepted the call coming into the transceiver. There was a brief lull. Then a familiar voice rang out on the other side. Hey, Thane. Yee, hello. What's up, man? Why'd you take so long to pick up? You mad at me or something? Ah, crap. This'd be tricky. I opened my mouth, the first instinct to respond. However, before it was too late, I caught myself. No, wait. Not my real voice. Last thing I wanted was to give away my real voice right now, especially to Yi, of all people. I looked around, desperate. Where the hell did I put that damn helmet? I saw it lying haphazardly near the couch. I nearly dove to grab it. I couldn't keep him waiting for a response for long. Hastily, I shoved my head in the mask. Turned on the voice-altering doohickey. Then I picked up the transceiver. Good morning. Then I thought to shore up my position a little bit. Yi. Sit. I almost apologized for taking so long to respond, but I caught myself right at the last moment. It's a beautiful morning out today. Really, something to be admired. You got a chance to go for a walk yet? Thought for a solid 3 seconds before responding. I couldn't double think every statement, I just had to stand firm. Afraid not. A little early for me. Ah, trying to get your beauty sleep, huh? I feel ya. Good, good. This is going well so far. After a moment's pause, Yi spoke once more, this time with an edge in his voice. So, in regards to last night's little situation, I trust you handled things. Damn it, this wasn't just a personal call. This was to talk business. Well, this was the likely outcome. You didn't strike me as the type to make a lot of personal calls. Noticing I was once again taking too long to respond, I spoke. Naturally. Who do you take me for? Hey, I wasn't questioning you or anything. Just, you know. Doing due diligence is all. That response seemed to satisfy him. So then, did you strike gold? Spoke too soon. Think about what that phrase usually tended to mean. If I struck gold, I would have contacted you. Ah, yeah, that's true enough. Damn. Kinda had a good feeling this time, too. Well, what can you do? As our good friend Benjamin Franklin is wont to say, diligence is the mother of good luck. We keep at it and surely a crack will form soon enough. Agreed. So that's what he was calling me about, right? Surely our conversation was now done. Anyways, I'm calling you to say that you're needed. Seriously? You're kidding. No rest for the wicked, kid. Meeting at the V-Hall. All senior officers required to attend. Which means that the she-bitch will definitely be there, so more fun for us. Yay. What's the meeting about? Thane, you should know Marduk better than me. Has he ever been the type to give a straight answer about his intentions? What can I say? He called the meeting. I'm sure we'll know when we're there. That it? Unfortunately not, my friend. We also need to finish up that whole Milo situation. Although seeing as you've been doing a lot of work lately, I could probably give you something of a break between the meeting and that. Thanks. Don't mention it. That's what I'm here for. Anyways, get over to the V-Hall ASAP, okay? Understood. Cool, see you there. And like that, he hung up. Fuck. Hey, feared senior officer of the Duats, the infamous Black Mask of Panthea, had been called over for an important meeting. After that, he had to conduct important Duat business. Seemed like a standard enough day. So what was the problem? Simple. I wasn't Thane. What? What? Thane, God bless his soul, was taking a nice nap at the bottom of a dirt pit, courtesy of yours truly. God fucking damn it. Why did I have to kill him? Well, I knew the answer to that. If I didn't, I'd be dead within the hour. Because that asshole, I was wrapped up in this nightmare of a situation. What the hell was I supposed to do now? There weren't any good answers. Fuck. I punched the wall. Ow. Okay, let's think about this logically. I was way over my depth. I had no business being wrapped up in this whole gangster shit. I just went to the police, maybe. No, that wouldn't work. If Thane was really this senior officer, there was no way the Duats would let his death just simply be. As soon as they found out what I had done, it would be game over for me. They'd look into what Thane's last assignment was. They'd soon realize who was to blame. Once they knew I had killed a senior officer, my life was over. No matter what I did, the Duats would have their vengeance. They were simply too big a force to deal with through any normal measures. Even if I fled Panthea, got police protection, and went into complete hiding, there was no way I could guarantee my safety. Not to mention I'd be completely abandoning my life here in Panthea. Giving up everything I had worked for. So that was it, right? Curtains for me. Finito. End of story. Because I had killed Thane, I was in a pit, and I couldn't get out of it. So let's take that statement from the converse position. So long as I hadn't killed Thane, I wasn't in a pit. So long as Thane was alive, so was I. Well, how exactly was I supposed to make a dead man look alive? I mean, it was almost too convenient. That the person I had killed was conveniently known for wearing a mask with a voice filter, for being an enigma of a person with an unknown background, history, and place where they lived. Surely I shouldn't. It's like the fates had set up this path for me and were giving me a side-eye. Like, hey, you want an out? Here you go. I didn't like it. It was so convenient it felt forced. It felt dangerous. Like I said, people knew nothing about Thane. Nor did I. Who was he? What connections did he have? How did he fit in with the Duats? What were his priorities? Who knew his secrets? How would he behave? I had some hints, maybe, from our encounter, but that sure as shit wouldn't be enough. But what other option did I have? Like I said, if Thane was dead, I was screwed. Ah, fuck. Fucking fuck. Okay. I didn't know what to expect from this meeting. I was entirely exhausted from today's outing. The odds that I would be found out within minutes were quite high. If that happened, I'd just be shot in the head or something. What the hell? Fates give you an out like this, you're stupid not to take it. That explains the awkwardness of that burial earlier. The whole complaining about what was in the duty bag. The whole soreness. That explains everything, really. They covered that up pretty well. Let's bring that on as midway through this episode. Well played. If the fates give you an out like this, you're stupid not to take it. This wasn't exactly a long-term solution. I mean, if this really is Mercury, then I feel like we don't have a direct connection to Thane, given that they were just found their way on board the ghost ship. If anything, the connection to Thane would come from a connection to journalist colleague who was killed aboard the ghost ship, probably also by Thane, who they went there searching for, even though they stumbled upon a completely unrelated torturing being connected by Thane. Again, assuming that this is related, that this is a sequel to the story on Mercury's path. It's not like I could just live as Thane for the end of time. However, I was out of other options. Maybe, just maybe this charade would give me some sort of out. So then, there wasn't anything to worry about. I hadn't killed Thane. I was Thane. That was the simple truth. I was Thane. The shadow of Panthea. To the V-hole I go. Whoa. How about that shit, huh? We got ourselves a bona fide actor up in here, huh? I got to say, there are a lot of ways to approach this sort of sticky situation, but the identity theft angle certainly takes guts. And this freak thinks it's the safe option. Can't you see skewed priorities much? I mean, power to them, but still. Anyways, you've already seen this Thane jab in action, haven't you? That must have made this little tableau quite fascinating. Now, is this just a default line from Easy? Or is this a different line? Do we get a different line if we jumped this before Mercury's first episode? For you to think that you were watching this horrifying figure, only for said figure to already be dead. What a swerve. Well, you can't really guarantee that. After all, you could never really know who stands behind the mask. And people can change so drastically. I'd say anything's on the table if you ask me. On that note, I think we should take advantage of that confusion. I think it's time for a bet. That was my Yu-Gi-Oh intro. Attempted. Yeah, that was bad. It's time to bet. Dun, dun. That's right, that's time for some more gambling. So then what are we going to bet on? Oh, I know. Our troubled main character has decided to assume Thane's identity. A risky prospect. One that could easily go to shit. So I ask you, do you think that they'll really be able to keep it up? In more concrete terms, do you think somebody will discover the real identity of this Thane within the next 3 scenes of this stack? Will Thane be discovered in 3 scenes? Yes, this is now a bet. I'm really intrigued by this one, to be perfectly honest. I already had an idea for another, unrelated vote regarding this episode as we were getting through it, which I might still post anyways, but this is a good bet. This one really gets you thinking. It could possibly be that Mercury's story is actually a sequel, so is actually a follow-up to this Thane story somehow. And the person we're actually playing as in here is completely unrelated. Yeah. There is still very much a chance that we get swerved. Or double swerved, even. And that this fella who is playing the role of Thane is not actually Mercury. It is a hell of a swerve coming off of Mercury's first episode straight to Thane's, and getting swerved halfway through that Thane is dead. Alright. That gives us something to think about for sure. And that might actually be the backup bet. Is the person under the Thane mask Mercury? Yes or no? That's going to be the other vote here. Let's hope I remember to post that one. I'm genuinely curious. This was a really good setup. Especially coming right after Mercury's ghost ship adventure. That's... Hell, this has got me interested in both those stories now. Now I'm invested in the bet. See, obviously we're getting out of the ship. If this is Mercury, we're getting out of the ship at some point then. And like we're having one final scene outside the ship where the murder happens. This isn't Mercury. Then who knows what's going on with the Thane on the ship with Mercury? Is that this Thane? Is that normal Thane? Is Mercury gonna fucking die and we're gonna lose that bet and that stack? I don't know. That was an unexpectedly powerful swerve for the first episode of a new card stack. And I appreciate that. That was really good. Let me know what you think's gonna happen. And obviously vote in the polls in the description. Which I typically post those polls like a half hour after videos start. So... ideally, you can... I figure I want you to at least somewhat watch the video to get a sense of what's going on before you blindly vote in the polls. Even if the polls might pop up on your YouTube timeline before the video does. Don't know. All depends. At the very least, let me know what you think is going to happen here. Until next time. Till then, thanks for watching.